And we're back for the second round.
Indeed. The second round we have Mathi Lenaerts playing on the left hand side against the winner from the first round. Sterkendries. Players are cutting the decks at the moment, so the round officially has been started at the moment. I managed to get the correct deck names for both these players, so Mathi is playing Orb Prison, as he wrote it on my phone, and we adopted Mono Red Brew from Sterkendries to the new name, which is Good Stuff Red. Players already started, so I suggest we go
Let's see the
to the
game.
game. Indeed. Stan won the die roll, apparently. So here we go. You know what card that is? That Mathi just played off a Tundra and a Scrubland?
That's the orb, I guess?
Nope, that's not the orb.
Is that not the orb?
Nope. I'll look. I'll give you the name in a second. I know what it is. It's called a relic barrier. It's an artifact, uncommon artifact from Legends, and it taps another artifact, if I'm recalling correctly. It's an uncommon. It's very powerful in this format. So let's have the relic barrier on screen for you. There we go. It's like a mini icy manipulator. Costs only 2. So
Yeah.
that's
And you see already it lines up very well against the Soul,
Soul,
ring
yeah.
from Stan.
indeed. It's a beautiful card, by the way. Mathi has a lot of them. He gets his Tundra
Stone Raid.
almost immediately. You can see how explosive the Good Stuff Red deck can be. A lot of artifact mana. He plays mana
What do you
vault.
think about this play, disenchanting the Soul Ring while he has the answer on board for it?
I think he wants to keep his options open. Well, I think we found out what the orb means.
There is the orb.
I think the Winter Orb is one of the most horrible cards to play against, even now when it gets played. There we go. He taps his own Winter Orb with the relic barrier I just
So
showed
he
you.
can untap.
Yeah,
That was his play.
Yeah, that's what the Winter Orb says. Players cannot untap. Now he gets the Black Vice disenchanted. And I don't think Stan has a lot of gas. Ooh, he still does have a lot of gas. I see a Juggernaut right there.
But he has to get them on the field, of course.
Juggernaut is an artifact. Can be tapped by a relic barrier, by the way.
Exactly.
I think he's gonna have a hard time. I think he's gonna have a really hard time. The Mishra's Factory is an artifact assembly worker, so yeah.
He will not be able to get with his org will be fine.
His orc will be fine, but I don't think Mathi's planning on playing too many creatures. Well, Stan goes to the face. He needs to get something done here. So I think it's only right that he starts firing off cards instead of discarding them. Can only untap one land at a time anyway, so
Might as well, of course.
there we go. Blood
There's the
Moon.
Blood Moon.
Now Mathi has beautiful red mana all over the place, and this Felwar Stone is also making red mana now, because yeah, that's what the Blood Moon does. It resolved. Stan will have 3 turns with 1, 2, and 3 land.
Ooh, there is the manipulator.
Yeah, at least Mathi will be able to untap his Felwar Stone.
Exactly, but this is kind of a pretty hard luck, because Stan will never have more than 1 mana a turn now.
Yeah, he will, because if he doesn't use the one, he can untap 1 land, so he can incrementally add. But yeah, that's what happens.
That's
Mathi
what happens,
taps
of course.
the mana, and he will always untap with all his mana available until the Winter Orb does its thing. I think, yeah, discarding the Juggernaut, which is also key. And yeah, Mathi doesn't even need to tap the relic barrier to use the Winter Orb untap motion.
Mathi.
I am
And
wondering,
another one.
another
Ooh.
Icy Manipulator. For people like me that only started playing when Revised just rotated out, these are beautiful Icy Manipulators. I am
They are.
used to the ones from Ice Age. Yeah, they were also very powerful when that set came out, but I never knew until like 10 years ago there were already Alpha or Beta or Unlimited Ices.
And Stan just admits
Scooped.
defeats.
Yeah.
He cannot get under
Did,
this
did,
lock.
he, did he actually see the kill from Mathi, or did we not see the kill from
He
Mathi?
did not see the kill.
We don't know what will happen. He obviously
He
has some kill somewhere.
Mathi siding some ivory towers here,
Yeah, to counteract the black vices probably.
probably, and to make sure that's one way he can lose. He hasn't have a fast clock, so he might get burned out of the game. If
Well-
Stan sees all his burn,
You say he doesn't have a fast clock, but he finished that game in like under 5 minutes, which is kind of sick. At least that's what I think. But yeah, he doesn't have a fast clock. I don't know the kill. I'm quickly gonna look at the Whack Whack website again. Hopefully it will tell me something more about this unknown to me archetype. It does have prisons, and we have Living Plane, the Void, Stasis, Parfait, and Field of Dreams. I don't think Living Plane and Field of Dreams is what we are having here. I am quickly gonna look at the Parfait. Yeah, that's the one he has. 4 Relic Barriers, 2 Winter Orbs, 3 Ices, a lot of artifact mana, Mishra's Workshop. Look at Stan showing us his hand. Yeah. I think, yeah, look.
oh,
I saw Shatters, Chain Lightnings, and Lightning Bolts up the wazoo. So the Shatters came in, obviously. A lot of them, Artifact Hate. It's gonna be great. If I look at what the most used sideboard is, how many cards did Mathi side? Because he's putting it.
5 cards.
5 cards.
I saw 2 ivory towers he brought in.
Yeah, then he's playing a completely different sideboard as the one I'm looking at Whack Whack.
Exactly.
Maze of Hits, Dust to Dust maybe, because his opponent also uses artifact mana, and Dust to Dust is pretty potent at killing that. Seb, do you have any idea what the real kill condition was that Mathi did not show? Because
I think it's just straight up annoy your opponent to death.
yeah, that's what you used to have stasis decks for. Did you ever play against a stasis deck in the pre-2000 era?
I did. As a
Mind
matter of
over
fact.
matter and all that jazz. Well,
It was pretty jazzy.
yeah, it was pretty painful.
Depends with what you play against it.
True. Thank you, Beek, for your heel goed gedaan Jackie comment in the chat. And we will try to keep it English in the chat as well, Seb. That's a good point. We can't have Beek talking in turnouts all the time in the chat. People just won't understand that. So, in the meantime, they're shuffling up for game 2, or they shuffled up. They're taking their opening hands. Stan is shaking his head. Let's see what we can see in Mathi's hand. I see a Tundra. I see Time Walker, Time Twister, Sol Ring. I think that's a Howling Mine. Maybe that's kind of a kill for him.
Might be the Howling Mine indeed.
Oh, they both kept their hand. Mox
Brainstorm.
Pearl.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, at least Stan has a 2 mana. Oh, he has a Shatter as well. So I think
He
he's
has the
gonna
answer
let
for
Mathi use some. Yeah, Mathi just double checking. Mountains? Yeah, mountains. Would you have let them on tap with counter blue, counter mana up with your Shatter in hand? Or
I would have just snapped off the shatter. I might have even snapped off the shatter on the Mox. Ooh. Oof, that's rough. That's rough.
would you have done it in response to the Ancestral Recall there? Because now, oof.
Oh, I think. This
Look at Stan's hand.
I think this is a really rough spot for Stan.
Now he's going to get rid of the Winter Orb.
But Mathi has the
He has a Juggernaut.
true.
So that's not red.
The Juggernaut and the Mishra's Factories get around.
There's a lot, but he had an Ancestral.
Circle of
So what
Protection.
did he get from the Ancestral? A Mox Sapphire, a Mana Vault,
A balance?
a Recall.
Is that a balance?
The last card?
The
Oh, that's a balance indeed. Yeah.
No, it's a Mox. No, it's a Mox. I
No,
think.
that's a Mox Sapphire. I see the Recall in his fingers now, between his fingers.
Yeah. I think again.
He can get the Recall, the Ancestral Recall back, recalling it, and he can get the Winter Orb back. I think he just needs a mana. If he gets Here we go, recall this. Oh, he discards the Underworld Dreams or gets rid of it. It's exiled. And he's gonna get the Winter Orb back. Or the Ancestral. I would, yeah.
I would go for the Winter Orb.
Yeah?
He has a lot of gas in hand already. He doesn't need more. Well, the orb just
Well, Mathi just...
locks stun out. But there's another chatter.
Yeah.
So
But Mathi has like huge amounts of artifact mana. And stun has nothing. I'm surprised how fast this old school scene can go. We saw
yeah, exactly.
Mathi with a prison deck getting a scoop within 5 minutes. We're 5 minutes further down with sideboarding already done. And it's not looking good for our mono red good stuff player.
It is not indeed. It seems Mathi has full control of this game.
At the moment,
Thinking what he's going to get now. Is it another orb?
I think it's a relic barrier
I think he picked up an icy manipulator.
to start tapping opponent's lands.
I think I saw Mathi going for the manipulator, but we will see in a second.
Or a second Winter Orb.
Or a second winter orb.
Well, he's tapping his mana. Oh,
It's the Holding Mine. That's an interesting choice.
I think he's feeling so confident that he can just let Stan draw his first card and then... Ooh, and Stone Ring on the Thunder. And now it's getting a little trickier. He has no damaging land left. No Winter Orb, no Recall. His Ancestral Recall's gone. Maze of it. Yeah, that's pretty good against one Juggernaut.
Against one, exactly.
But he still has the balance on hand. So that's also pretty good. He's gonna take a damage. No, he's not. He's tapping
reconsidering.
all over the place, making it pretty hard. Okay, he's gonna copy Artifact, his
Another Holding Mine.
Howling Mine, and he's gonna put the Ivory Tower up to get out of life range more quick.
He's so safe now. He has the COP
Yeah,
and he has the Ivory Tower.
yeah, indeed, and a fistful of cards.
And a fistful of cards.
For
This is a way to go. Stun shuts off the out of the Maze of It against the Juggernaut, so
which hasn't hit the table yet.
it doesn't hit the table. He has to play to his
But
outs.
now Mathi is gonna draw a ton of cards, 3 cards. He did not gain any life yet. He's playing a mountain. He's tapping 2 mountains through the Blood Moon, 3 mountains through the Blood Moon, and a Mox. And he's gonna play the Icy, which you were correct. He got using the
Icy.
Demonic Tutor. Well, you see how powerful the copy artifact in this deck is. It can copy Howling Mines, it can copy Winter Orbs, Relic Barriers, Ivory Towers, Ices. You don't need to copy Moxon or anything, it's just overkill on targets for the rest.
There
we
is
go.
this Juggernaut we talked about.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do a ton of damage. It's gonna get tapped.
It's gonna get
every
tapped all
turn,
game
so-
long, but if he gets another one going, then Stun might actually get some damage in. And don't forget, he also draws 3 cards a turn with these Holding Mines.
True, but
on the board.
I don't think Mathi boarded out his disenchant copies. And he has more Relic Barriers coming.
Yeah.
And he plays another Ivory Tower, and I think with like 7 cards and double Ivory Tower, you're safe against
I
Juggernaut
think so too.
damage.
I see another Icy Manipulator there, so Mathi in strong control over this game.
And the fun stuff is he has a Black Vice against him, but that gets countered by one of the towers anyway. So maybe he can take like 2 damage or something
Yeah,
from
exactly.
a Juggernaut.
Exactly. But
If a second one shows up. It's not really value, I think. Not
no,
really value on Stan's side.
no.
Well, you see, it turned around pretty quickly. The first round against aggro deck, he was on top, and this time spinning his wheels, Juggernaut wheels.
Juggernaut wheels. Yeah, the Juggernaut isn't really moving a lot.
No.
Oh, but there is a Shatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna once run out of those. You think he used 3 already?
He already
There we
used
go.
3. But there's a
Secondary.
second Juggernaut. This is the way Stan can
Yeah.
win this
True.
game.
True.
He is playing to his outs. He is finding the cards he needs to hit.
Mathi goes up to 22. Thank you, Mathi. Awesome, helping us out here with the stream. So Mathi is up to 22 life. Well, this is shaping up to be a little longer game. Although Mathi still has the balance and the mugs, the white mugs. There we go.
Stan also being so friendly, making the City of Brasses not tap for 1 damage.
Indeed.
Very
No.
kind.
Well, Felwar Stone is like an expensive Mox Ruby.
It is. I think Mathi is really in the market for more red mana at this point, I think.
Yeah, indeed. He's gonna tap one of the juggernauts. The other one's gonna attack. Mathi's writing it down, but yeah, thank you.
As Beek mentions, exactly, the balance would handle the juggernauts pretty well, seeing Mathi doesn't have creatures in play.
And at the moment, actually Stan would lose 3 lands.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's for hand-sized creatures lands. Does it also do like Cataclysm does, artifacts and
No.
enchantments?
I
So it's
don't-
only creatures, hand size and land.
And there
which-
we have Sushi.
Sushi. Let's have a
We have
look.
the Sushi in
Sushi
play.
was once made when mana burn was still a thing. And Sushi, do you know how to write it actually?
Yeah,
Su,
it's
S-U,
S-H-U,
S-H-U,
a little...
a dash.
No, like you wrote it right, S-H-U,
Yeah.
and then a dash, yeah, and then she,
She.
like that.
Sushi.
Sushi. No,
No. It's
what?
not. I think it's gonna be
That-
Su.
here, Sushi.
Oh yeah.
There we
It's
have
like-
it. We
it's-
have it for you guys.
It's. I'm gonna give you the nice artwork, not the bad artwork. There we go, Sushi. When artwork was really strange in Magic, and mana burn was a thing, this was a haymaker.
But for those, we're playing old school here today, so mana burn is in fact today still a thing.
Is it a thing?
It is a thing.
I don't know. There are different rule sets about the old school events, and I don't know if they're following the rules for mana burn. Sometimes old school events do it, sometimes they don't.
And
We
there is
will
the
get that.
balance. There is the balance. This is the
And Mathi
This
has
is-
2 cards in hand.
this is backbreaking for Stan.
Well, Stan is gonna keep the Wheel of Fortune, I guess,
I think so too.
and maybe a mana vault because he's gonna lose a shit ton of lands.
And creatures. Mathi doesn't have creatures at all, so this is backbreaking. This is backbreaking.
I think
Stan-
Stan kind of scooped
Yeah,
looking at the top 20,000 cards and the COP red being pointed out. Ooh, look at that beautiful Shivan Dragon. Black bordered Shivan Dragon. I think we can go like this and give Mathi the 2-0 win. And we'll take you back to the booth for a second. There we are. Well, old school. Normally a
That was
slow
some
and
beautiful
steady,
magic.
yeah, a slow and steady format, as people say. Well, we haven't seen any very slow and steady games yet. 2-0, 2-0, 1-2-0 to Stan, and now he loses 2-0 in, what was it, 20 minutes? Along those lines.
In about 20 minutes.
Completely wrecked by that balance.
Yeah, that was just backbreaking. I think Mathi had it in hand for a long time. And he just milked it, waited, and then...
Well, Stan is playing land destruction, so getting set back on lands yourself whilst holding artifact mana, including the Mox Pearl, getting him out of the Blood Moon situation. Yeah, kept it, all the game in his hand until he could get, like, how much cards was that? I think Stan had 7 cards
Yeah.
because of the Howling Mines. He had 2, so he had to discard 5 cards. He had to get rid of three lands.
Three lands?
He
And 2
had 3
creatures.
lands, and I think he had 7 or 8 lands. So I think he had to get rid of 5 lands or 4 lands. And how many creatures? You counted the creatures.
He had two juggernauts in play, while Mathi had none.
And the Suchi.
And the Suchi, right? So,
So
that's
that
3
was
creatures.
A 13 for 1. People ask why balance is so retardedly strong. And
Balance is retarded stuff.
Yeah.
The Big asks what the win con for Mathi was. Mathi plays for factories, for Mishra's factories.
Underworld Dreams, because that was one of the 2 cards he had left in
And
his hand.
Underworld Dreams, and then of course indeed the decking.
Underworld Dreams is one of those cards that's been reprinted in like a 7th or 8th or 9th edition or something, or 5th edition, very ugly. And because it's an uncommon, and doesn't fall on the reserve list. But it used to be one huge player in the old school Magic, old school, up until when Type 1.5 came out and mixed everything up. That there were Stroke of Genius decks with Brain Geysers and Yawgmoth's Bargain, including Underworld Dreams as kills. Then it got restricted, and then we had Enlightened Tutors printed.
Yeah.
And then it got played again. And it's been one of my favorite cards. It has beautiful artwork on it. It's like actually when in the day they used to make real acrylic paintings. Now it's more digitized and modern, which isn't bad either. But it's just everybody's taste is different in that matter. I liked it.
Exactly. But do you think, indeed, we're talking about it here, should Stan have conceded there? The thing in being, Mathi draws more cards with a recall, so I don't think decking is a good win condition when you're drawing more cards than your opponent.
Yeah, but he had the Underworld Dreams in hand as one of his 2 remaining cards.
Did he still have the Dreams in
Yeah,
hand?
that was one of the 2 cards that I saw when he cast the Balance. And even then, I don't think it's restricted in old school. Let me have a quick look. I have the same whack list somewhere on one of my tab pages. Here we go. And I think it's not restricted either under World Dreams, is it? It's not on this list.
It's not on this list.
Mathi made it a little spicy himself.
He added some spice to it, yes.
But I think... except for the Mishra's Factories doing damage to him, he could even have another copy artifact putting the black vice on his side of the table, I think. I don't think copy artifacts target your own artifact, can target any artifact, which also can be a kill condition at that point.
True, so he might just make another Juggernaut and just go to town with the Juggernaut, if Mathi fancies it.
Yeah, that's a lot of spice there. That's a lot of spice that you're entering into the fray there. But yeah, why not? He used the Ancestral Recall. He still has a Brain Geyser. For people unaware, Brain Geyser, 2 blue X sorcery. Target player draws X cards, or force target player to draw X cards, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can draw X cards yourself, which isn't bad either for a control prison deck. But I think you could use it as a fireball. Finish off your opponent with all artifact mana. Tapping and untapping of your Sol Rings and mana vaults if you have those.
Exactly.
So you can generate a ton of mana that way, Mathi. And the red deck, what did we see from the red deck? We saw Juggernauts.
We saw the 4 Juggernauts, I think. I'd say we saw the Orcs, probably
Mishras.
4 too. Mishras, the Stone Rains.
But what did you see else that he might? Lightning Bolts and Chain Lightnings, obviously. But to kill there, it's good stuff. Red.
Good stuff, right? I think you just want to
reload. Yeah.
I think the Juggernauts and the Orcs are his main win condition, and then just burn the opponent out.
Don't really like that. The Orcs are too... They're spicy, and it's fun to see them, but just activating Mishra's Workshop at the beginning of combat, you can't attack.
But a 6/6 in old school is enormous. I know nowadays we're used to...
True.
But a 6/6 in old school is an enormous creature.
We saw Shivan Dragon. Yeah, you didn't see it. Yeah, you were looking at the Whack website.
Okay.
But when he scooped, he showed a Shivan Dragon, and then he pointed at the COP red.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense as it cock blocks him all the way. I can tap with my Icy Manipulators and my Relic Barriers, all your Juggernauts, and everything else I can just ignore for
the Mol
one.
red deck doesn't have any out whatsoever against the COP.
No enchantment removal at all.
Back in those days, red hadn't anything against enchantments. We really respected the color pie.
They did
back then.
They did get, but it's not in old school, but in one of the sets that came after, like Homeland's Ice Age, they did get, I believe, Anarchy.
True. Yeah.
Anarchy. Which is destroy all white permanents for 2 red and 2 colorless, and I think that was really needed. And in the same set, a beautiful card was printed. It's called Juckle-Hopes.
Juckle-Hopes, yeah.
And I think that thing destroyed everything on the table for everyone.
That's the big blue Leviathan, if I'm correct.
It's a spell. It's a spell that destroys everything. Let me have a look. I never ever cast it myself. It also got a reprint later on. But yeah, I only saw it being cast. Chocolate Hopes, 2 red, 4 colorless sorcery, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They can be regenerated. But yeah, indeed, there isn't even enchantment removal on that. Look at that beautiful artwork. That was what I was talking about just before. Well, as you can tell, players already packed up. We can talk a little bit about the commercial.